Focus is when you lock your mind onto your dream and don't let go until you find the path to make it real. It works through two powerful forces: autosuggestion and habit. You already know about autosuggestion, but habit? That's your concrete. Repeat a thought or action enough times and it sets. Like the foundation of your life. Want to remember someone's name? Drill it in your mind until it sticks. Your brain feeds on your environment. Everything you see, hear, feel, it's all shaping you. Habit takes that input and codes it into your DNA. It steers your actions, shapes your imagination, even builds your biases. One philosopher said, "At first you tolerate, then you regret, and finally you accept." That's how good people become prisoners of bad patterns. Imagine this. Your habit is a record groove, and your mind is the needle. The track you choose, that's the melody your life plays. So choose your surroundings wisely and what they feed your thoughts, and habit locks them in. Habit is a rope, and every day you braid it tighter. But here's the twist. You can grab it and lead it where you want. Psychologists say habit is trainable. You can rewire it. Thousands have already rewritten their tracks. They stopped destroying and started building. You're not a slave to habit. You're the boss. Take control, aim it at your goal, and nothing can stop your breakthrough. It's the key that unlocks wealth, fame, health, knowledge, everything you're truly ready for. So what's the secret? Concentration is the ability to focus your mind on one goal until you master it completely. It's about thought control, breaking old habits, and building new ones. It means you're in the driver's seat, thinking with clarity and steering your knowledge toward your purpose. But the key only works if fueled by desire and ambition. Without them, it's powerless. Everything starts in the imagination. First comes the dream, then concentration turns it into reality. Ready to prove it? Forget doubt. Skeptics don't win. Believe in yourself. Want to be a public speaker, a writer, a business leader? Let's say you choose public speaking. Write this down. I will become a powerful speaker to bring value to the world and create a life of purpose and abundance. That's your first step. Lock in your focus and move forward. Now write this. I will focus on my dream for 10 minutes before sleep and right after waking up to bring it to life. I know I can become a strong speaker and nothing will stop me. Sign it. Keep your word. Stick with it until you reach your goal. Picture yourself 5 to 10 years from now. On stage, confident, respected, wealthy. See the house, the bank account, the impact. Feel it. Live it in your mind. This is your magic key. Concentration. Don't dismiss it because it sounds simple. Truth often is. Use it with intention and success will follow. Forget your past failures. Yesterday is gone. Start fresh. Let the next years tell a story of triumph. It all begins with a thought. Plant it deep with belief and the universe will rise to meet you. Concentration is the magnet for your dream. Here's the course's secret. When multiple people align their minds around a shared goal, they create a force beyond measure. Like chemistry, mix the right elements and something powerful happens. Some people lift you up, others pull you down. Choose wisely. It matters. A woman in rural Kentucky broke generations of poverty by getting an education. Her influence changed the whole family's future, from factory life to dentists and even a university president. Another story, Chris Gardner, once homeless in Chicago, clung to nothing but his son and his dream. With faith and the right people around him, he rose from rock bottom to become a millionaire stockbroker, an author who inspires millions. Why? Because he had vision, and because the people around him believed. The right person can be the catalyst for your greatness. Choose allies who lift you up, then rise together. Behind many great people stands an unseen force. Henry Ford had a wife who believed in him during his darkest days. Thomas Edison's wife once said, "His power is in his concentration." He never gave up until he solved a problem, and she was his rock. Think of it this way. Your desire is the seed, and harmony with others is the soil and air it needs to grow. Like an apple tree from a single seed, your dream blossoms through the unity of minds. When you focus on your goal, the universe starts sending you ideas, clues, and opportunities. Dr. Elmer Gates, a psychology genius, used to sit with a pen and paper and just concentrate, and thoughts would come, seemingly out of thin air. He'd write them down, and many became breakthroughs. The author of this course said the same. Many of his ideas were born from this exact method. Your mind is a magnet. Tune it to your dream, and it will attract everything you need. And what if every thought is a wave, endlessly circling the universe? Concentration taps into those waves, connecting you to the wisdom of the past. Imagine being able to touch the ideas of the greatest minds who lived before you. Hold your desire in your mind, believe in it, and it will come alive through a power you may not explain but will surely feel. Henry Ford reached the top through unshakable focus. The course author recalls a story from Ford's chief engineer. In the early days of Ford's career, a group of engineers gathered to debate how to improve the car's rear axle. Everyone had opinions. Ford stood silently listening. When they finished, he stepped forward, tapped the part on the table, and said firmly, "This axle is doing its job, and doing it well. No changes will be made." He turned and walked away. His word was final. The design stayed almost the same for decades. That wasn't just stubbornness. It was focused vision. Ford had one goal: build a reliable, affordable car. He didn't chase every new idea. He focused on what worked. While others were stuck in doubt, he moved forward, building an empire. This is proof. When you hold a clear vision and refuse to back down, the world adjusts to you. Another example: Cyrus Curtis, publisher of the Saturday Evening Post. The author read about him in a book by Edward Bach. Curtis took over a failing magazine. Most would have quit. He invested everything. He didn't just throw money at it. He gave it his entire energy and focus. When losses piled up, it took real courage to keep going, but he did. Today, the Saturday Evening Post is legendary. Without Curtis's concentration, it would be forgotten. You've seen how environment and habits shape your power. Now comes memory, the key to true focus. Want to remember something important? Here are your tools. When meeting someone, repeat their name 4 to 5 times. Make sure you heard it right. Link it to something you know. For example, if you meet Elizabeth Shearer, picture Queen Elizabeth holding giant shears. See the shears. Remember the name. Another story. 10 years ago, a friend gave the author his phone number, Lakeview 2651. He was standing by Lake Michigan. He connected Lake to the lake in 2651 to his brothers and father's ages, 26 and 51. To this day, he still remembers it. Or imagine needing to mail a letter. Picture it massive sitting on your mailbox. You won't forget. One factory manager shared his own story. At 50, his memory began to fade. Messy desk, missed meetings, his job was in danger. He took a vacation, realized the problem: lack of focus. He built a schedule: mail, orders, dictation, meetings. He repeated it daily, stayed consistent. Step by step, he rebuilt his habits and regained control. You can too. Keep your attention on your goal. Repeat it. Practice. Your mind will become your greatest strength. If you can't recall something right away, don't panic. It's just a lack of focus. Try again. And again. You will get there. Want to memorize a poem? Focus until you can see the lines with your eyes closed, as if they're right there on paper. The course author believes concentration unlocks the secrets of the mind. He's convinced that by training your attention, you can tune into the thoughts of others, or even to a universal mind, the source of all knowledge available to those who seek. Sounds strange? Try it yourself. Start with your main goal. Memorize the exact words. Find silence. Relax your body. Quiet your mind. Close your eyes, cover your ears. Repeat your visualizing yourself already there. Wealth in your hands, applause in your ears, if you dream of being a speaker. Live inside that image twice a day, and it will start to come alive. You have a choice. Develop your concentration and believe in its power, or reject it as nonsense. But if you do, you risk losing a priceless opportunity. This lesson isn't for debate and is for action. Master your focus, and you'll unlock a path to limitless potential. The supermind, a higher power created when focused minds unite, works through concentration. Each focused mind strengthens the others, building unstoppable energy behind a shared purpose. True success comes from harmony with others. You can force the body, but the mind? Only you can guide it. Many never discover their true potential simply because their education didn't awaken it. But sometimes one spark, a challenge, a dream, a moment of clarity, awakens the genius within. Your brain has a threshold. Some cross it with ease, others need effort. But with desire, enthusiasm, and love for what you do, you can soar. The author believes whoever discovers a safe way to awaken the mind will change the world and even solve crime. Your mind is fertile soil. What you plant grows. So plant your dreams intentionally, with clarity and purpose, and your harvest will be extraordinary. Everything begins in the mind. Visualize your goal, hold it in your thoughts with burning desire, and it will become reality. But beware. Anger, fear, hate, they're poison. Until you master them, your potential remains locked. The author emphasizes, only by controlling your emotions can you take truly constructive action. Let go of fear and rage, and your mind will rise to new heights. J.A. Fisk described how mental suggestion works during religious gatherings, when people's thoughts blend into a single stream. Modern science suggests this excitement isn't purely spiritual, it's psychological. Experts believe it's not divine power, but a form of mass hypnosis, triggered by emotional intensity. David Starr Jordan from Stanford compared it to being drunk. William James from Harvard even warned, such gatherings can be more dangerous than alcohol. But this isn't a blanket statement about all religion. Only those moments where raw emotion overtakes reason. These spiritual outbursts can awaken people to higher purpose. In Islam, it might trigger a renewed devotion to the Quran. In Christianity, waves of sudden conversions. History is full of such movements, but often they splintered or led to the rise of radical sects. Your mind is powerful, and direct it wisely. Don't get swept away by the crowd. Focus on your mission, not the chaos, and you'll become the architect of your own success. Every great movement starts in the mind. The Reformation, the rise of the Jesuits. These were sparks that grew from spiritual momentum, not unlike today's emotional gatherings. The author notes how the Wesley brothers led such revivals in 1738, praying for hours, inspiring mass conversions, even intense reactions like shouting or fainting. Today, these are often seen as harmful and such gatherings are less common. But what's behind them? Crowd psychology. Scientists explain a crowd isn't just a group of individuals. It becomes a single entity driven by shared emotion or purpose. In that state, critical thinking fades, and the group sinks to the level of its weakest member. Psychologist Didot says, when listening to a speaker, people merge into a collective mind, passionate but irrational. Tarde and Jastrow call it mental contagion, where fear, fanaticism, or excitement spreads like a virus, suppressing independent thought. Gustave Le Bon, in The Crowd, wrote, "In a mob, people lose individuality. Emotions and ideas fuse into one force, easily manipulated. They fall into instinct, impulsive, fierce, even heroic, but without reason." Davenport adds, "The crowd's mind is primitive, reacting instantly, ignoring logic." The author encourages you not to give in to the chaos of the crowd. Your mind is your strength. Focus on your goal. Keep it in your awareness with faith, and you are not a speck of dust in the wind, but the creator of your own destiny. Choose who surrounds you. Control your thoughts. and you will rise above the crowd to true greatness. The crowd lives on imagery, not logic. The author of this course explains that when addressing a crowd, you must paint pictures, like slides that change one after another. Imagination reigns, and emotions unite stronger than reason. In the crowd, emotions explode because everyone feels that everyone around them is burning with the same idea, such as salvation in a gathering. This amplifies the wave of feelings, breaking down barriers, and the crowd becomes one. Wild but powerful. Psychologists say that in the crowd, you lose yourself under the influence of the leader, almost as if under hypnosis, and repeat after others like a sheep following the herd. Durkheim adds that the mass presses, forcing submission. You hear the preacher, the shouts of the crowd, feel their passion, and your resistance melts. It's like a hypnotic session, mystery. A monotonous voice commands, "Stand up! Go!" Prepare you for the final push. The author compares a good preacher to a hypnotist who knows how to touch the strings of the soul. They strike emotions, mentions of mother, home, the sky. Songs like "Tell My Mom I'll Be There" melt the heart. The fear of death without salvation. What if it happens today? Forces action. Images of the cross, hell, angels strengthen the imagination. The crowd presses, the preacher calls, "Give yourself to the Lord now." And you seem to surrender under prayers and touches. But the author emphasizes, this is not weakness, it's the power of emotions. You can take this energy under control. Focus on your goal, not the chaos of the crowd, and you will become the leader of your destiny, not a pawn in someone else's game. Emotions at gatherings can overwhelm you, but do they lead to true strength? Starbuck, in The Psychology of Religion, quotes a convert, "My will was surrendered to the preacher, reason disappeared, only ecstasy remained. I sought good, but it quickly passed, leaving only orthodoxy." Davenport adds that while fear subsided, the hypnosis at gatherings intensified. The author of this course agrees. This is not spirituality, but a primitive, abnormal force, similar to animal instincts or shamanistic dances. This is especially dangerous for children, whose suggestibility makes such methods poison for the mind. Supporters of gatherings claim that suggestion is a tool that can be directed toward good. But the author disagrees. Hypnotic chaos is confused with spirituality and imitation with truth. George A. Gordon, in Religion and Miracles, writes that the world needs not a show of emotions, but clarity, passion, and the truth of prophets. Excitement fades, leaving indifference or hostility to true faith. Many convert again and again, but then fall into deceptive isms or fraudulent cults. Those who shouted at the gatherings often become victims of messiahs. Especially vulnerable are children and women during periods of change. Emotions, religion, and sexuality intertwine. The author emphasizes, citing Davenport, shock and fear at this time can leave a lifelong mark, causing doubt and sickness. Your mind is not a plaything for the crowd. You can choose. Give in to the chaos or take control. Focus on your goal, control your emotions, and you will become not a victim, but the creator of your own path. What our ancestors called the devil is now explained by the laws of psychology and nature. The author of this course emphasizes, by understanding these laws, you gain the key to your power. But what will happen to gatherings? Professor Davenport predicts their influence will weaken. Hypnosis and coercion will fade into the past as they suppress the mind and soul. The future belongs to quiet, wise piety, not the shouts of the crowd. The number of converts will depend not on the preacher's tricks, but on genuine friendship and love. Ahead is a time of self-control, joy, peace, and kindness, as the Apostle Paul said. Religion grows from chaos to reason, from coercion to freedom. The author urges you, master the law of concentration. This is your foundation for success. Focus on your goal, control your mind, and you are ready for the next step. Cooperation. You are not a victim of emotions or the crowd. You are the creator of your fate. Take these principles and build the life you dream of, wisely, boldly, with faith.